Have you ever been in a relationship and felt like it was all your fault when things went wrong? Do you constantly question whether or not you were the toxic one in the relationship? It's easy to blame ourselves for our relationships ending, but sometimes we can't help but wonder if there was something more that we could have done. We feel guilty and confused about what happened. We're going to discuss how to tell if you were the toxic one in a relationship and how to move forward from here. We'll also give you tips on how to spot unhealthy patterns of behavior so you can avoid them in future relationships. Toxic behaviors can take many forms, including emotional abuse, manipulation, controlling behavior, and verbal or physical aggression. These behaviors can cause emotional pain and damage to the self-esteem and sense of self-worth of the person on the receiving end. It's important to recognize the signs of a toxic relationship and take steps to address any unhealthy behaviors. If you're unsure whether you have been the toxic one, some common indicators may include constant criticism or belittling. One of the first signs of trouble in a relationship is when one person treats the other with disrespect or criticism all the time. This type of behavior usually takes the form of vocal or nonverbal put-downs, insults, and teasing, all of which can destroy your partner's self-esteem. Criticism may be terrible for your partner, leaving them disillusioned, depressed, and even useless. Lack of respect for boundaries. Boundaries are essential to any healthy relationship and show respect for each other's needs. In a toxic relationship, one partner may not respect the boundaries set by the other, either by crossing them or ignoring them completely. This could include things like getting in their personal space, not caring about their feelings or opinions, or not respecting their need for privacy. If you think that your relationship may be toxic, it's important to reflect on your own behavior and determine if you are contributing to the problem. Disregard feelings and needs. A toxic relationship may be present if you consistently disregard or ignore your partner's feelings and needs. This could take the form of dismissing their ideas and opinions, making them feel like their feelings don't matter, or simply not giving you the time of day. To get what you want, you might ignore their sentiments or try to exert power over them. Controlling or possessive behavior. Behaviors that are possessive or controlling are another indicator of an unhealthy relationship. This behavior may present itself in a variety of ways, such as checking their phone or social media accounts without their permission, following them around and watching what they do, or becoming too possessive of them. These are the kinds of behaviors that are intended to make you feel as though you are not permitted to have any freedom or independence of any kind. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which a person or group tries to make someone doubt their own memory, perception, or judgment by planting seeds of doubt in them. Gaslighting can be a very subtle form of abuse, and the person being targeted may not even be aware that it is happening. Some common tactics used in gaslighting include 1. Denying that certain events or conversations took place, even when the targeted person has clear evidence or recollection of them. 2. Changing the subject or shifting the blame when the targeted person brings up something that the manipulator doesn't want to talk about. 3. Convincing the targeted person that they are crazy or overreacting. 4. Using mind games to create confusion and make the targeted person doubt their own perceptions and judgment. Gaslighting can be emotionally and mentally exhausting for the person being targeted, and can have serious consequences for their mental health and well-being. Verbal or physical abuse. Abusive behavior, whether it's physical or verbal, is probably the clearest sign that a relationship is unhealthy. Words that are spoken in a manner that demeans, belittles, or threatens another person are verbal abuses. Name-calling, threatening, ridiculing, and mocking language, yelling or screaming, and insults are all examples of what can fall into this category. On the other hand, any type of physical contact that is designed to injure another person is considered to be an abuse of the physical kind. This could involve punching, kicking, pushing, biting, or restraining someone against their will. If you became aware that you displayed any of these characteristics during the relationship, you must own up to it. Accepting responsibility for one's own bad behavior is an important step in dealing with and fixing unhealthy patterns in a relationship. Here are some steps that may be helpful in taking responsibility for toxic behavior. 1. Acknowledge the behavior. Recognize and admit that the behavior was hurtful and unacceptable. This is the first stage towards accepting responsibility for one's actions. This may involve acknowledging the impact that the behavior had on your partner or others. 2. Reflect on the behavior. Consider the reasons behind why you engaged in the harmful behavior and give them some thought. Were you attempting to gratify a particular desire or sidestep a particular feeling experience when you made that choice? If you can get to the bottom of the reasons for your behavior, you'll have a better understanding of how to modify it. 3. Apologize. A sincere apology can be a big step toward fixing the damage that bad behavior has caused. Make sure to take full responsibility for what you did and say you're sorry for what you did. 4. Seek support. Dealing with toxic behavior by yourself can be a challenging task at times. You may want to look into getting the assistance of a therapist or counselor who can guide you through the process of comprehending and improving your behavior. 5. Make a commitment to change. Taking responsibility for your actions means making a commitment to change and working to improve your behavior in the future. This may involve setting boundaries, learning new communication skills, or seeking support from friends and loved ones. It is possible to reconcile with the other person involved in an unhealthy relationship if you are willing to work on your behavior and address any underlying issues that may be contributing to the toxicity. It requires an honest assessment of each party's behavior, a willingness to make meaningful changes, and a commitment to put in the hard work of healing. It's also important to realize that reconciliation isn't always possible, especially if the other person doesn't want to or can't take part. In these situations, you might need to think about other options, like ending the relationship or getting help from friends and family. Your partner might not be interested in reconciliation, and it can be difficult to let go of a relationship, especially if you have strong feelings for your partner and are committed to working on the relationship. However, if your partner has refused to reconcile with you and you have been the toxic one in the relationship, it may be necessary to accept that the relationship has come to an end. It can be difficult to recognize whether you were the toxic one in a relationship, but understanding why it ended is key to moving on and avoiding similar situations in the future. Some of these traits, such as verbal abuse and a lack of respect for boundaries, should provide guidance in identifying if you were the toxic one. Ultimately, only you know how you interacted with your partner and if your own behaviors contributed to the end of the relationship. Reflecting on what happened in a non-judgmental and honest manner can help you gain insight and grow from this experience. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you all next time.